In the days gone by, this was called cooking the books. Now, is this really called cooking the books, or is this just a thread on Chelsea as general in general? Now, what conversation are we having today? Chelsea are accused of course, probably overestimating the profit that they made, or probably cooking the books. And today we are going to be looking at all of that. What is the genesis of this whole conversation? Chelsea, announced that in the 2023-2024 football season, they were able to make a profit of 128 million pounds. And the previous year, which was 2022-2023 season, they made a loss of minus 90 million pounds. So when you look at the fact that they made a loss in 2023-2024 season, 2022-2023 season of minus 90, and they made a profit of plus 128 million pounds in just this last season, it calls for a lot of people to ask questions about how did Chelsea do it, what actually did they do. So today we are going to be looking at many of these factors. Before we get started, because we are going to be looking at, what Chelsea needs to do to remain profitable, what they need to do to make sure that, they remain, financially viable as a football club, and also be able to bring in players and do many of the activities that Chelsea is expected to do. We are going to be looking at all of this, and we're also going to be looking at what if they fail to do that is really, really going to affect the Chelsea Football Club. So before I get started, guys, please drop a like, at least if you are not subscribed to my channel. If you really want to subscribe to my channel, I'm grateful for that. Thank you so much. And if you are subscribed already, please remember to turn on the post notification on this channel. So what is the genesis of this thing, just like I said? As you can see, according to this tweet by, Ben Jacobs, it says Chelsea declare a profit of, 2023-2024 before taxation of 128.4 million pounds compared to a loss of 90.1, for prior year. This was down to increased profit on disposal of player registration and repositioning of Chelsea Football Club Women Limited. The women's team was sold from Chelsea Holdings to BlueCo. Now, Chelsea had additional approval ensure, Chelsea Football Club is dedicated, blah, blah, blah. Overall revenue in the year fell to 468.5 million pounds due to the men's team not competing in the Champions League. This is the number one problem. Match day revenue increased for 8 to 80 pounds. Increased to 80.1 million pounds, as average attendance of approximately 40,000 was maintained. The growth in commercial revenue to 225.3 million pounds was driven by an increase in player loan, loan income and sales of non-match day activities, including stadium tours and merchandise sales. Decreased operating expense, profit on disposal of players registration of 152 million and profit of disposal of subsidiaries of 198.7 million led to the group's recording an overall net profit of 129.6 million after tax. Now, this is the situation. Chelsea, had to sell the women football club to BlueCo. To be honest, I don't know if BlueCo is a subsidiary of, the Todd Boehly company. It would be funny if, for example, is a subsidiary of the Todd Boehly company. But then they sold it off. They made some money from that, and now they also did. Of course, they were able to maintain 40,000 attendance average per match. During the lifespan of this season, of the last season, even though they were not in the Champions League, they have had a really, really poor form. They have a really poor squad, trying to get a new manager, amongst many other things like that happening to Chelsea. But then they were able to sell jerseys. They were able to, of course, ship the women's team off, and, were able to bring in profit. And of course, they have a lot of players on loan. Sterling, one of them, João Felix trying to ship a lot of players, to probably make some money through that means. So personally, if you ask me that, do Chelsea cheat or are they cheating financially? I will tell you no. Because they seem to have understood the business very well. They know where to look for to get money. They know the right players to ship off. They know the right time to do it. And I think it's just a proper class business decision. I'm not a Chelsea fan, but it doesn't stop me from saying it as it is. I think it's a proper class, business decision. Now we are going to be looking at some tweets that really, really, fans, of course, are going to be having conversations about it. a lot of fans, rival fans do not really believe Chelsea were able to make such profit, of course, from minus 90 million pounds all the way to 128 point something million pounds, the next year. Sounds outrageous, I understand. But of course, let us look at some things. Well, I'll also show you a tweet that actually gives clarity to all of this. And so if you're a Chelsea fan and you're watching, please remember to drop your comment and also stay tuned to the end of the show so that I can show you all of these things together. Now we are going to be, checking out this next tweet. So this individual Romel is saying that more PSR cheating, selling their women's team to themselves for 150 million pounds is not even worth 5 million pounds. Now, just like I said, forgive my lazy journalism. I honestly do not know who owns the BlueCo. I'm going to find out about that. But judging about that now, the BlueCo, for example, already are in control of the Chelsea Women Football Club. They made profit of around 150 million pounds in excess, trying to bring in money to the team. And now, when you look at the fact that they made this money, selling off their women's team, of course, they have the right to do that. They have the right to do that. But is this something that is sustainable? That is the conversation we are going to be having. I do not think it is something that is sustainable because Chelsea need to start focusing on trying to get back into the Champions League so that, of course, stadium attendance can improve, and also sales of merchandise and many other things like that can also improve. They make money from qualifying into the next round and next round of Champions League. And of course, with this money, they are also able to invest in other players that are also going to upgrade the team. For example, maybe bringing a new midfielder, maybe bringing two wide forward, just to try and bolster the team so that they can be very very competitive again. Because without Chelsea going into the Champions League, they are not likely to make as much money, and it will always fall back on them. Now they have sold the Women Football Club. What more are they going to sell in assets? Because they are picking their assets one by one and they are selling it off. So what more are they going to sell in asset? So these are the things that we have to look at. These are the things that we have to talk about. Now, guys, what exactly do you think is happening with Chelsea? I am not saying that Chelsea are doing any financial doping. No, it is already explained how it happened. To be very honest, I think all Chelsea fans should concern themselves with this tweet I'm going to be reading now. This is Kieran Maguire. You can search for him on Twitter. Look at his Twitter and he had a clear understanding of what is going on. And according to what he says, he says strip out player sales and selling the women's team to another part of the BlueCo gives an underlying loss at Chelsea last season of 222 million pounds. Nearly all club losing money and reliant on player sales and in some cases real estate movement to dig, out of the PSR issue. Now the PSR issue is more or less like the financial related issues, where clubs are not able to make the certain amount of money in a couple of years, and of course, the regulatory body actually coming to do some things about it because you have to remain profitable to run your club and do many of these things. So now when you look at the fact that, of course, Chelsea sold their women team trying to make profit, this is what this man is trying to explain here. And this graph, if you take your time to look at it very well, tells you everything you need to really, really understand about the whole situation. So if anybody tried to tell you that, Chelsea Football Club are cheating, trying to do the cover up, trying to cook the books. No, I don't think they're trying to cook the books. They have real financial assets, estate that they moved around to be able to raise this money. But for how long are they going to be able to do this? For how long are they going to be able to keep selling, the assets that they have, keep selling what they hold? They need to actually start bringing in players, start becoming competitive again, win titles. All of these things will bring Chelsea back to the forefront. And remember, they have a lot of players on long-term contracts. They have a lot of players on long-term contract, and the players they have on long-term contract are not players that are looking likely to be attracted by other clubs. For example, they have Modric on, I think, 7 years contract. They have Enzo on, I think, 7 years contract. So these are the bad financial decisions Chelsea have made probably at the beginning. To that is almost like putting them in this situation. That is almost like putting them in this situation. But I think moving asset around is a good idea, provided that you can become sustainable. But if you cannot become sustainable or get into the champ, because this season, for example, they're not getting into the Champions League again, but they are likely going to be looking at next season. They must make sure that next season they get into the Champions League. So at least by the time they get into the knockout round, they make a lot of money to be able to balance their books, become profitable again, and all of these PSR issues will go away. So guys, this is the video for now. This is what I really want to talk about. What do you guys think? Please, I really want to hear from you. Remember to drop your comments in the comment section. So until next time, guys, I'm going to see you. Stay blessed.